Oh, okay, everybody.
Right.
Hello.
Hello.
We can't do this.
Oh, I have a
We
thing.
are Anxious Baddies Book Club.
Yes. I have a thing, actually. Hopefully it'll
Oh,
make it a little bit easier. Yes. Okay, make the introduction.
that way?
Yes.
Woo!
I'm the opposite direction. Yes, here I am. Okay, I have a whole thing, so hopefully this makes it a little bit easier. I just hate having to read off of a screen because I suck at reading. Anyways, listen to this whole thing that I wrote.
I listen. We listen and we don't judge.
Yes, we don't judge.
Mm.
Alright. Hello all. Welcome to Anxious Baddies Book Club with your hosts Amber and Emily. If you're new here, thank you for joining us and we hope you decide to stick around. If you're returning, thank you for your support. It means more to us than you know. And if you are interested in our other bookish content or shenanigans, follow us on our other platforms. We have a list at the end of the episode.
Yes, we do.
Yay! Today, we will be reviewing...
Can you still see me doing this?
I mean, I can see you.
Okay.
Well, now I can't. I mean, I can see your back.
Alright.
And your hair.
Okay.
Percy, what are you doing? What are you
We're
doing?
back. Guess who's back?
Back again. I have a cat trilling, and then I have a dog sniffing me. Hey.
While Emily figures her business out, so I personally have been a fan of Rainbow Rowell for a long time. The first book I read from her was Eleanor and Park, which I think Emily you would really enjoy, and maybe one day we'll talk about it here.
Okay.
Maybe.
We can put it on the list.
I think it was back in September. Rainbow was having like a talk in Omaha about this book, and I ended up going. And she actually is a resident of Omaha, so that was really cool. And we got to wait in line and get the book signed. So it's signed by Rainbow. So hi, Rainbow. Thanks. Okay.
And for those who don't know, she's in the Omaha area. I am farther up north by probably about 4 hours. So my book is not signed.
But it's still very nice.
It is. But this is what we've been reading. I mean, we've been done with it for a while. It's just this is the time that fit in our schedule to actually talk about it. So, but
somebody had a vacation that went by too fast.
It always does. But you needed it. You definitely needed it, and it looks like you had a lot of fun. So, all right. But before we get into a review, here's your warning. This episode will contain spoilers because this is a book club. We've read the book and we are ready to talk about it. And also cussing because that's just what we do. And anything that might sound sponsored or like paid advertising is not. We are not paid or given anything for free unless stated otherwise. With that being said, we hope you enjoy the chaos.
Got a table by the window, a stack of books so tall, coffee, spewing pages, turning, we're ready to read them all. From mysteries to magic, history to dreams, every story takes us somewhere, nothing's out of reach. Late night talks about the plot.
Okay.
Okay, yes. So I should eventually get something so I can just prop the book up, but that wouldn't make sense because it's backwards. I can't get my picture to become
I can try to do that.
Yeah, because yours is the right way. Mine is back.
Slow dance, Rainbow Rowell.
Yes. Okay, I suppose we could start with the overall rating.
Yes.
I imagine you gave it a 5.
I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I was about ready to give it a 4 because I wanted to smack Kylo.
Yes, absolutely.
I was like, bitch, you better claim your man.
Get your shit figured out.
He became a treat for you.
I can't. What?
He became a treat. In the play.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I was like, there's some kind of witchcraft that I forgot about.
No.
Okay. So, I had to get my shit figured out. But yes, Amber rated no. No.
No.
Technically, she rated a yes. Amber rated it 5 stars, which is fucking fantastic. I rated it 4.5, so that will be between a will read again and also fucking fantastic. And I have the rating schedule right here.
Did you give it a spice rating?
No, I did not give it a spice rating. I mean, if I had to give it a spice rating, I'd give it like a 1. Because there was
Black pepper?
Huh?
Black pepper.
Yeah, black pepper. Yep, black pepper. I have it right here. What would you have rated it as?
Number 2?
Okay.
Mild Taco Bell sauce.
Yes, mild Taco Bell sauce. It didn't have, I mean, it had a sex scene. I think it would qualify as a sex scene, but it wasn't anything that would have made me hop into bed and,
See, I discovered something about, I probably already knew. I discovered something about myself that I literally, like, lose my mind. When people are like, I don't know how to say, like, they're, like, how much they like each other or care about each other. That made their, like, sex scene so sweet. And, like, made me, like, oh my god. And then I was between, like, wow. And then I was like, oh, this is like cute. And I was like, I don't know. But I like sex scenes that are real. Like, are just like raw and real. And it's just like no bells and whistles, no masks involved. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, realistic as in, like, what people would experience on a day-to-day.
Yeah.
Not anything like we would read in other romance books, like, I guess, Haunting Adeline.
Yeah. Nothing like that, which I haven't read it, but I've heard sex scenes are, yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's vanilla.
Yes.
Vanilla. But it's, like, I don't know. I just appreciated it.
If you can imagine 2 Midwesterners having sex.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean,
it's very exciting.
Yes, as exciting as watching corn grow.
Corn.
Okay, well, you see, you know what I meant.
Sorry, yes, I did. I will hold it together. But yeah, anyways, that's why I rated it mild Taco Bell sauce.
Yes.
It got my hopeless romantic heart just a beeping. Beeping. Beating. Beep beep.
Beep beep.
Yeah.
Bork bork.
Bork bork bork.
I fucking can't.
Damn it, Emily.
I know, I love the Muppets.
I do too.
I can't not.
Great.
Alright, so on to the next thing. Favorite character and why? I put Mikey.
I loved Mikey.
He was like the friend that encouraged chaos.
Yeah,
And I love that.
I know. I liked Mikey a lot.
And like he knew that those two had feelings for each other. Carrie and Shiloh, that like since they were little.
Yeah,
But
but he never like pushed them
intervened.
towards each other,
Yeah.
like an annoying way. But he was always just kind of like.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And like even after they all kind of drifted apart, it seemed like they all had their own thing going on. But
Yeah.
he was still also interested in kind of keeping the gang together. It's kind of like he was the glue.
Yeah.
But I loved how I loved his personality. He was just fucking
I did too.
chaos.
He was very like, this is me. Like, no matter, like, this is like my third marriage or whatever. I think it was
I
his
think it
third
was second.
or second. He was like, this is me. I don't give a shit. Like, whatever. But he was like so true to himself that I think that helped Shiloh and Carrie kind of find that truth within themselves.
Yes. And also, I find it kind of funny that the one that Mikey was marrying was the girl that he dated in high school. They admit in the book that Mikey and, what is it, Jeanette or something?
Yeah.
They weren't in love with each other in high school because they did end up going their own ways. I think they both ended up marrying different people, and so this is, I think they're both their second marriage. But yeah, no, it's I think the book itself like perfectly portrays kind of how you grow apart from the people that you grow up with, and how sometimes getting back together with those people can be what you need.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like, the time apart made you I don't want to say this. It made you grow and learn about yourself in a way, and then they did the same thing. They grew and learned about themselves, and then they were able to meet at a point where they were both grown and had different perspectives and could appreciate one another more. Yeah,
Correct. Yes.
absolutely. What was your least favorite character?
Shiloh.
That's fair.
I mean, she did grow a lot, or
Yeah.
a mild amount.
Yeah.
But she was very stiff and wrapped up on, what could go wrong, and she was so dead set on not being with Carrie, even though, like, Carrie was the love of her life. He was so set on being with her, but she's like, no, go do your military thing. You've been doing all this ROTC stuff.
Yes.
And he's just like, I would drop the Navy in a heartbeat to be with you. And I'm like, ah.
I know. I was like, I'd be on my knees. I'd be like, I'm yours. Take me.
Right? Yeah. No, I don't. I'm a very selfish person. And Shiloh may have seen herself as being a not selfish person by telling Carrie to go do these things. But I would have been like, you are willing to give up the Navy for me? Okay, bet. Stay here.
Yeah.
Do it.
Be like, I like you, and I actually love you. You
A
give
lot.
up for me? Okay.
Yeah. And but I do think that if they were to have gotten together right out of high school, I don't think it would have worked out.
I agree.
And same thing with Mikey and Jeanette. wouldn't have worked out because again they weren't the love of their lives, whereas Casey and Shiloh were the love of their lives, but the time just wasn't right. And I know in the farther down the line there's a how can you relate to that, and I can relate to it because me and Michael had a thing in high school. We went our separate ways. He got married to someone else, and I was someone else's snot rag for 10 years.
Way to put it.
But then we, got together again, and that's...
My favorite character was Carrie.
Your least favorite character?
No, my favorite character was Carrie.
Oh, yeah, Carrie. Okay, I get Shiloh and Carrie mixed around for some reason. I don't know why.
He's a very stoic person, but he the only thing that didn't make him stoic was Shiloh and his love for him. But he took care of his grandmother, who is actually not his mother.
Yes.
And his sister, who is actually his mother. And then his niece, and then, or actually half-sister.
Right,
sister.
yeah, that's right. I know, the whole family dynamic was a struggle to understand for a second.
And it makes more sense when you read the book. It's me kind of saying that kind of sounds like insane. But he was just always, he always did the right thing for his family. And even for Shiloh. And even when they were in college, they met in college. And he just wanted to be... He wanted to be that person for her. Even though it kind of threw him off, he loved her enough. And then that's kind of he's just very he does the right thing for the majority of things, but Shiloh kind of tests.
I feel like she pushes him to do the right thing, but I don't think she quite understands what he wanted. Yeah.
In a way, she thought that she wasn't good enough for Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another thing that kind of bugged me too was how she pushed sex on him.
Yeah. That's what in college. He obviously wanted to, but he didn't want her to just be hey, I want you to think about you losing virginity to me.
Yeah.
But he obviously he loved her and wanted to do that, but he wanted her to make sure that this was the right thing for her, but she just wanted to get it over with, kind of.
That, and I think there was just a lot of miscommunication between the two of them. I think, I understand how trying to get out how you actually feel is actually easier said than done. And let me tell you, a lot of things could be could be easier if communication was done correctly. Just kind of get to the point of it. But no, I think in a way it's almost you're in the book they were unknowingly doing mind games with each other.
Yeah.
And because it would have been so much, but then again there wouldn't be a book if none of the conflicts have happened. But if Carrie would have been I want to be with you, fuck the Navy and whatever else, maybe they would have gotten together out of high school.
But that's the thing, they both had to learn. They both had to learn what life was like without each other and the honesty that they had with each other.
Yes.
When you think about it, they just needed to be honest with each other and their feelings. And they both, Shiloh was chasing that away and or was kind of like downplaying it, and then Carrie kind of wanted her but didn't have the right words. As I feel like Shiloh talks for everybody.
Right, yeah.
Whereas Carrie is this military man. He's got the military mindset. Words aren't his thing as much as it is for Shiloh. And sometimes, like, I think that's kind of why he kind of just, he liked her so much, but couldn't get out the word.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was some miscommunication between them in college too, because they were writing each other back and forth. And when Carrie thought that he was professing his love to her in a letter, she took it as him breaking up with her. And then he assumes that she got with her then ex-husband. I don't remember, but the timeline of that got kind of weird because I think he thought that she got with, what was his name, Ben? I can't remember. He was a douche.
Yeah, he was a douche. Her ex is
Ryan? Ryan, yes.
Right, yeah, Ryan's a douche. He's my favorite character.
Yeah. That's another thing, yeah. How do you cheat on someone, like, throughout your entire relationship and marriage?
People do it all the freaking time.
I know.
Or they'll have, like, side conversations with another woman. Like, what's the point of that? Like, are you trying, I don't know. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna talk about it.
No, thank you.
No thanks. But Ryan is a piece of shit. Those kids, though, Juniper and Gus, are amazing.
Yes.
Ryan, you are a piece of shit.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Who had the biggest strength or growth of the book?
Shiloh. I think Shiloh and Carrie both.
Yeah, I think collectively they both. I agree with you. I think that would. I said Carrie, but I think they both could just be like together in that.
Yes, I think towards the end, I think they grew together.
Yep. Well, they allowed themselves to A, be happy, and B, just like say, like, yeah, this is enough. We're gonna be together.
Right. Yeah.
Even though Shiloh tried to fight it, like, no, it was beautiful. I loved that they both were able to finally find that common.
Yes, me too. All right, were you satisfied with the ending?
Yes. It was so cute.
Yes. It's like, after all the back and forth of the entire book, going back in time and, the present, it's like about damn fucking time.
Yeah.
It's like, yay.
I don't know, and it was just so, like, and I know I said this before, but it was just such a real, like, portrayal of a wedding.
Yes.
Like, it just, like, you felt like you were there, you've been to a wedding like that, like, it wasn't grandiose, just typical Midwest.
Yes.
But then also, like, the characters and, like, the conversation, like, it felt like I was there.
Yes.
And so I really appreciated the ending.
Yes. I think it really, like, tied it together.
Definitely.
Yes.
It gave a proper send-off to the character. And even the other characters around them, and it just... I kind of hope that she would do, like, an epilogue.
Yeah.
Or of, like, a snippet of, like, their the future. But that's just me being like,
Right, yeah. That gives us the ability to kind of imagine what happens after that.
But I still really loved the ending.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Did any quotes stand out to you?
So I listened to the majority of this
Yeah,
on my
so you wouldn't have
ride
been able to.
back from Colorado. So I did not like get any quotes really. Did you?
I think this was between Shiloh's mom and her, but I think her mom said, "What the actual fuck is going on between you and Carrie?"
I love the mom.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, you good? Okay. I got 2 dogs just all over my face. But yeah, no, I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, what the actual fuck is going on? And I'm listening to the audiobook too, so it just kind of makes it even funnier.
Yeah, we both did actually. That's really cool.
Yeah, I read the book while listening to the audiobook, and it helped a lot.
Mm-hmm. It does help.
Mm-hmm. It's called not intermittent reading. I can't remember. Inversion reading? No, I can't remember what it's called. What are you chewing on? Hey, you are on my power cord for my laptop. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Would you swap lives with any of the characters? Yes. I wasn't gonna say no, but I don't necessarily want the progression of like high school, they liked each other, kind of then married in their adulthood. Okay, rewind. I am also reading The Last Letter, and he is a military man in that.
Right.
And it makes me really want to meet someone like that, like Carrie.
Yes.
And like the character in The Last Letter. Just like a stand-up guy, like a guy that's just gonna be like, I'm there for you, you know? But military men in the dating world,
yeah. I had to remember where I put that question at.
Yep.
But yeah, I would switch places with Shiloh just to experience her and Carrie's love.
Yep. That's what I would love that.
Yes.
I want that. I just want that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me? Well, I mean, I love my
military relationships are really difficult. Yeah, and so is the other guy in The Last Letter. I'm like,
Right?
Yes, I have a type.
Yes.
I have a lot of types. Oh, guys. Granted, but this one I like.
Yes.
And the uniform. I like a guy in uniform. I like a guy in uniform.
Oh yeah, I know when they can get all dressed up and stuff, like.
Very nice.
That nice. Okay.
Next one.
Did you find the characters lovable?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Once Shiloh stopped being an idiot.
Oh my god, I know. I was like, she's gonna be the reason why I don't like the book.
I think I texted you. Where was I at when I texted you? I was like, I'm gonna scream. I was like, because Carrie was proposing to Shiloh, and then she was like fighting it. I was like, you bitch, you better.
Right.
You better agree to this.
And I mean, to be fair, you did text me about it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like this dumb bitch. And I'm like,
I know. I'm like, granted, Rainbow. Like, I love this book, but. And I'm thinking of the perspective of myself, and maybe, like, I'm just romantic that way, but dude, like, if some guy I knew in college that I really loved did, like, propose to me in this way, I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's go!
Right.
Let's go!
But I think people who can relate to Shiloh would be able to understand her thought process a bit more than us, we would be able to. So, reading is subjective. Everyone can relate to different characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
The beautiful thing about reading is that you definitely take with your own perspective and things that you like and things that you don't like, and
yes.
yeah.
Precisely. Okay. Is the character cast diverse?
Is it what?
Is the character cast diverse?
Um,
I mean, it's Midwest, so I mean,
yeah,
everyone's pretty similar.
Yeah, as diverse as you can get in the Midwest.
Yeah. I think Omaha is more diverse than a lot of other places, though, in the Midwest, I guess. So I maybe, especially if they are in the, excuse you, don't tell me to take my pills. So I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, for the most part, I don't think that the main characters had much of a diverse.
I
But
did. Sorry.
no, you're okay. I was thinking more along the lines of the what the NPCs, whatever you call those people, the non-important ones,
Yeah.
or the background characters. They could have probably been diverse, just because you have
Yeah.
Mikey, who's in the art world, and you know the art world is very diverse. And then you have Shiloh, who's the play, who whatever she was, and usually plays are have a somewhat diverse.
And then Carrie obviously is in the military, so they kind of round out different personalities. I did appreciate though, a lot of books that I've read don't really touch on like the way women might feel in regards to, like, let's say if you were bisexual, which I'm not. I can't relate to Shiloh, but the way Rainbow writes about Shiloh maybe being attracted to women and like went on a date with a woman and liked it, but was like, no, like that was really nice to read about because I don't get that perspective. And it's nice to see like kind of that I don't know, that way of dating.
It like opens up a view that you're not able to see through your own eyes.
Yeah.
Fair.
And it was a really real like description of that. And I think that if anyone doesn't know like or isn't like bisexual or isn't like that can relate to that and be like have that perspective of okay, like this is how they date, this is how that sort of thing. So that was really
Yes. Okay. Is the main focus of the book the flaws of the characters? I would say a mix. Maybe more than half.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Shiloh and Carrie were kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Well, like, especially, like, Carrie.
And his family dynamic, that was a real fucking shit show.
I have to say that I love Lois, his grandmother, technically his mom.
She's a very, very sweet person.
Yeah. And, like...
Well, and I think, not to cut you off or anything, I think his grandma, Lois, she, I think, embodies a lot of the Midwestern kindness.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because, I mean, she's willing to help out, especially her family members who need the help, but her family also was taking advantage of her like no one else's business.
Yeah, like... She... And that's the thing. She let it happen. But, like, and I think she didn't... Like, what choice did she have? You know, her as a mother, she was just like, okay.
Right.
I'll let it happen. I'm going to take care of Carrie, and he's going to be my son.
Yep.
You know.
Her daughter, whatever her name was, I can't remember. Carrie's actual mom.
Niece.
Well, Carrie's actual mom, like birth mom, and whoever she had around was like clearly just taking advantage of her mom. It's like, and so like go Carrie for laying down the law and putting them into place, because if it wasn't for Carrie intervening, they would have like run her into her grave.
Oh yeah, 100%. So, but
why are you yelling at me? My phone wants me to German, but I can't German right now.
But I think they were able to reconcile their problems, especially Shiloh with like, oh, she's too much with her kids, and Carrie can never, and
yeah,
you know, and I think like his life, to kind of put it into perspective, like neither one of them wanted to like live inauthentically anymore. And they both like, we love each other, we're gonna make this.
And I think though Shiloh did do a lot of improvement on herself, I still think she at the end has a long way to go to improve on herself, but she's a lot farther than she was at the beginning of the book.
And that's kind of thing too with relationships. Whoever you are with, if they're the right person, they will have a more positive effect on you. So they will outline the good part of you. Whereas if it's not that great of a relationship, Ryan, her ex, outlined her insecurity a lot. Because I mean, obviously, like, if you're gonna be pregnant with your kid and you find out that your husband is cheating on you, like,
and has been cheating on you,
that fucks you. That messes with your brain. That messes with your self-esteem. That messes with so much. So, like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Carrie is good for Shiloh, and they love each other, and like he will bring out the best.
Yes,
and
he
bring
will
out.
be. Yeah, and then also Carrie will be able to help her undo the damage that Ryan did.
Yep, not convince her, but reassure her that yeah, you're beautiful, loved.
Well, and
like,
then
yeah,
Ryan was like eager for her to move on so that way he could have women sleep over while the kids were there, and it's just like, dude,
you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, like I'm all for moving on and having new partners, but if you're going through your partners like you're going through underwear on a weekly basis, like,
yeah,
your kids don't need to see that. They
need stability.
Yeah, they don't need to see your fling of the week.
Yeah. It's not good for kids.
No. Oh no, Ryan was a piece of shit.
Yeah, Ryan can kick rocks.
Yes. Okay. Is this book movie worthy?
100%.
Yeah. I would like to see it in I don't know how to exactly word it, but maybe in a documentary type of film, because it goes back in time.
That would be cool.
So like you would have to go through every once in a while you would have to put present day or back whenever the memory was occurring in, because it does have a lot of flashbacks. Like I think almost every other chapter was a flashback.
Yes.
So yeah, you'll be reading in present day and then you'll go back in time for a chapter or two and then you'll be thrown back. But it outlines pretty good when you're going back and forth, but I think it also kind of coincides why they're going back in time with whatever. So
Oh, absolutely.
I think that would sense.
That would be a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
Also, I want the movie to be made for the music as well.
Yeah. It did have a lot of references to it.
Yeah.
I know.
Harry.
Yup. And I wrote this down because I was partially offended by this, but Shiloh said Styx was lame. And I'm like, you're lame.
Right. You're like,
You're
excuse
lame.
me, ma'am. That is exactly why she's your least favorite character. Well, that and other things, but that, like, you're like,
I'm like, nope, this bitch has problems. But I mean, at the end of the book, she does admit that Styx wasn't that bad. And it's just like, you're...
Yeah. You're
like,
like,
listen,
we're
I have seen Styx in concert at least 2 or 3 times. You take that back.
Did we say how we would imagine life with the characters after?
We haven't. We kind of like
touched on it.
Like,
yeah.
Briefly. Like, I wouldn't even say touch. I would say brushed against that subject. But yeah. How would you imagine life after?
I know that they mentioned like trying to have another kid.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down.
Yeah,
I think she gives it.
I could see it happening. Probably when Gus is a little bit older.
Yeah. Because you know she's gonna overthink it.
Yeah. Yeah. But hopefully, you know, obviously Carrie can like, hey Shiloh, look at me. Focus. I could see them having a kid. Yep. And honestly, I could see them adopting as well.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
That out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah. So, that's why I was hoping for an epilogue, just to kind of see like present day, like what was going on.
Right. But I also like how it's left to our imagination to figure out what's going on. Yeah. It would have been nice to have an epilogue, but at the same time,
it might have taken away from like how good the ending was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or how simple and sweet the ending was. Mm-hmm. But I think I would like to think that they have another kid, maybe one more, and maybe adopting. Obviously they're staying in Omaha because Mikey's there, his son.
Yep.
Shiloh just doing her theater thing, and maybe Carrie just like retiring from the military.
Well, I know, I remember he was, in the book, planning on seeing if he could get stationed in Omaha, so he could stay in there until retirement.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
that...
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. But they have the game back.
They do!
Yep. And, I mean, granted, Mikey and his wife had their child of their own, but Carrie was obviously no stranger to wanting to be in Shiloh's kids' lives too, as a figure. So the three musketeers are back together again, and they all have babies, and
I just loved it.
Right?
I love how it was just so real.
Mm-hmm. It definitely did, and I couldn't really make I couldn't recognize the landmarks, but I was thinking that was more up your alley since Omaha's just a skip and a hop away. Because I know that they had mentioned certain like restaurants and stuff like that. So, like, you know, maybe Amber would know about that.
So I think she mentions in this book the Rose Theater. That is where Rainbow is actually going to have book talk at a different location, but ended up going to Rose Theater because of the bad weather last year and cut off electricity. So we went to the Rose Theater, which was really cool. But I think that was mentioned there, and so I did get to see that, and that was so it is cool that it is close. I'm gonna try to, maybe I'll get back in there and like mark some of the places that they went to, and maybe just like do a little scavenger hunt for myself.
There you go. That'd be pretty cool, especially because you're not that far away from it, and you'd be able to correlate the sections of the book with the restaurants or wherever it was that they were. But I know that they had mentioned restaurants and other things.
Sit down.
Almost, Bodhi.
Almost dying.
Yes. So that was, I think, all of the questions that I had for that, but some of the notes that I had written down was Omaha, local, yay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't know that this was going to be a book about Omaha, or centered around Omaha. And they mentioned it a lot. I don't think I've ever heard the word Omaha used so many times.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So many times. And another thing too that stood out was Shiloh was her when she found out that Carrie had a girlfriend in high school, and they didn't tell her.
Mm-hmm.
And like that kind of made me a little bit sad too.
Yeah.
These are your best friends, you know, two of you are secretly in love, but
Yeah.
to find out that one of them is dating somebody else, like,
Yep.
um,
You're like, God damn it, Carrie.
right. I wrote down chapter 28 was silly and unhinged.
Oh, I gotta look at it. What is?
Oh boy, chapter 28.
That's funny. Okay, 22. Remember 28.
It's a flashback that explains how they became Spit Bros.
Oh yeah, I was like.
Because I think Mikey wanted to do Blood Brothers, and they're like, you know, let's hold off stabbing ourselves and making us bleed. Right? They're like,
Well, I mean, like, we're going off Mikey here. That's such a Mikey thing to do.
right, yeah, that's so Mikey. We don't know Mikey, but it's such a Mikey thing to do.
He's like, don't wipe it off!
Right, yeah, you're gonna ruin it!
So funny. But yeah, it was a little unhinged. But I think that's the way Mikey is.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I like how, I think it's kind of ironic that it mentions one of the next books that we'll be reading too.
Yeah, Fahrenheit 451. I thought that same thing.
I wrote it down. Apparently, it was very notable to me.
It could be.
If you've stayed this far into the episode, we want to thank you for watching and hanging out with us. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Now, before we end the episode, we want to toss out some helpful info in case you are in a book desert, in need of some accessible reading resources, or are looking for different places to buy books. None of this is sponsored. Our first suggestion is thriftbooks.com. Amber and I have been using ThriftBooks for several months at this point. The app is easy to navigate and the customer service is good. You can buy used or new books, sell some books you no longer want. They also sell CDs, vinyl, DVDs, and even some video games. There is a tiered rewards program that has a lot of benefits, which includes a free used book under a specified dollar amount, depending on your tier, after you spend a certain dollar amount on their site. This could be very useful, especially if you are already buying a bunch of books. They have all different genres from kid to adult, so if you want a kiddo in your life to get into reading, definitely check out ThriftBooks. Up next is your public library. I believe most public libraries are free. My local library did charge me $1 per year fee, so I paid for 5 years. I would think that if a public library charges a fee, it would be a small amount. But the best thing that you can do for the most accurate information would be to call, visit, or go to your library's website. But besides books, public libraries usually have other great benefits. Mine has Wi-Fi, a photocopier, computers, scanners, books, book clubs, and story times, and more. An added benefit to owning a library card is being able to use Libby. Libby is an app where you can rent ebooks, audiobooks, and more. I've used Libby to borrow audiobooks to listen while I read the physical book. That helped me stay focused and read the books much faster than I normally would just by reading it. I have also used it to borrow ebooks. This has also helped me for when my carpal tunnel and my arthritis acts up, and it's too difficult for me to hold a book and turn pages. I've also invested in this cheap page turner. This helps when I'm not able to turn the pages. But it connects to my iPad through Bluetooth, and it allows me to, again, turn pages without having to use my hands. It's also perfect for those days I just want to be cozy, lazy, and read. But of course, we want to make sure we're supporting authors, especially indie, new, and upcoming authors. We try to stay away from big stores like Amazon, but sometimes that's only where new and other authors are able to sell their books. So we absolutely encourage Amazon Kindle and Audible for that aspect. Also check out TikTok. I found so many authors advertising and selling their books on Book Talk. I think I've found TikTok more useful than Amazon half the time. Anyways. But last but not least, check out your local independent bookstores if you're able to. Absolutely no shame. If you're unable to support due to financial accessibility or other reasons, but even if you can spread the word, that can be more helpful than anything. If we missed a resource or a helpful suggestion, please let us know and be vocal in our comments. If there is any way to make reading or book buying more accessible, we want to help spread that word. There are definitely no wrong or weird suggestions. What works for you may work for us, or it may work for somebody else. But that is everything that we had today, and it is time for us to go. But take care of yourself, keep reading, and until next time.
Oh, we're book club besties, lost in every tale, living 1,000 lives in a paperback sale. From the first word to the last page, we always want more, flipping through